Hello, my name is Marianne. Today's vlog is about Pennsylvania Intellectual Disability Services Consolidated Waiver. Federal laws establish the federal Medicaid program known as medical assistance. Medical assistance is a cost-sharing arrangement between Pennsylvania and the federal government, which reimburses costs to provide medical assistance to individuals who are unable to cover the cost of their medical care. Pennsylvania has chosen to participate in the medical assistance program, so it has to follow federal laws and regulations. The laws that are required are very strict. Federal law states that Pennsylvania must offer certain services, such as inpatient hospital services or doctor's visits. Some types of medical services are optional, and Pennsylvania may determine whether or not to include them in their state plan. Dental care and medications are two examples of optional services that the state can determine whether or not to include. It's important to note that many intellectual disability services are not covered as either mandatory or optional services under medical assistance. So let's talk about the waiver. When the federal government determines that certain services will not be covered, Pennsylvania may decide to cover those services. This permission is called a waiver because it's an exception to the federal rules. The purpose of this waiver is to help people avoid institutionalization. Pennsylvania has two waivers for people with intellectual disabilities. One is called the Consolidated Waiver, and the other is called the Person Family Directed Support Waiver. The Consolidated Waiver is the funding source for community-based intellectual disability services, and eligibility is determined by meeting the following 7 criteria. Be age 3 and older, have a diagnosis of intellectual disability, be currently in need of treatment, have a medical evaluation that recommends an intermediate care facility, be determined eligible for medical assistance, $2,000 resource limit applies unless the child is less than age 21, and an income limit must be met. The Consolidated Waiver covers a broad range of services. You can see the list here. With so many services available, how do you know which ones suit your needs? The waiver participant and his or her team, including family, legal representation, supports coordinator, provider staff, and others, develop an individual service plan, or ISP, to help determine what types of services are required. Annual review is required to see if any changes are needed and to meet the changing needs of the desires of the participant. If you would like waiver services, you can apply by contacting your supports coordinator or the Mental Health Intellectual Disability Office in your county. If you cannot find the contact information for the person in your county, you can contact Pennsylvania Department of Human Services or Office of Developmental Programs Customer Service Line. It's important to apply for the Consolidated Waiver as soon as possible because the waiting list is very long. Currently, there are more than 13,000 individuals on the waiting list. 4,000 of these Pennsylvanians are on the emergency waiting list. 13,000, that's a lot. Apply now. If you're already in the Consolidated Waiver, but you're not receiving the services listed in your ISP, or no services at all, you may wish to contact DRP, the Disability Rights Pennsylvania.